In this next session, I'm going to demonstrate how to configure groups in your course, to use those groups for specific assignments throughout the course. So to configure the groups, we go here under Administration in our course, and then we go under Users. Then we go under Groups, and then we first have to define how many groups we're going to have in the course and give it a name for each group. Click here on Create Group, and we're going to create, to keep it simple, just Group A, and then later Group B. So we just give it a name, click on Save Changes, don't worry about other settings unless you want to tinker too much with it. Then we create the next group as well, and we'll call this Group B. Next, what we need to do is we click on Group A here, and we need to add the members to the group. Typically, in this case, I don't have that many students because it's a test course here, but typically you want to keep the groups no less than 3 students and ideally 4 to 5 in each group. So now I'm going to add the students. So you can click on each student, or you can even hold down the Control key and select more than one student and add them to the left by clicking on the Add button here. Then once we are finished with Group 1, we go back to Groups here, and then we add the students to Group B. So we click on Group B here, add users to Group B, and then I'm just going to pick a couple other students here. I'm holding down the Control key here and selecting multiple ones, or you can do them one at a time. And now we scroll down and we go back to Groups. My next suggestion here is to actually verify that the students that belong in Group A are in Group A and Group B students are in Group B. Now, of course, I have some overlapping here, which you don't want in your courses. The next thing that you want to do, by the way, if you wanted to modify it, you just click on Add Remove Users, and you can take one out from the left to remove it and move it to the right here, or to add it, you just click on the right and then move it to the left. So now we are ready. Our class has been split into groups, and now it's time for us to go into the actual assignments and tell the assignment that it's going to be a group project. So you can do it either when you create a new assignment and define it that it's going to use groups, or you can use an existing assignment and just change it so it's going to be utilizing groups. Now, you can look at and review the video on how to create an assignment. I'm not going to go through that at this point, but to change this assignment, you can either click here on Edit and choose Edit Settings, or open up the assignment and then click on Edit Settings under Administration. By the way, this option here, Edit Settings, works for pretty much any activity in Moodle. So we click here on Edit Settings, and then we scroll all the way toward the bottom here. We have to come back a couple times here to this assignment to tweak it. So we go here to the bottom, and under Grade, we need to first tell the system that we are going to use. Actually, it's under Common Modules. We are going to use groups in the course. So we're going to use separate groups. So we're going to tell it that it's going to use separate groups first. We're going to save and display it. And that was under Common Modules again. Then we go back into Edit Settings, and then we need to go here under the Group Submission Settings, and we need to change this to require group to make submission. So if you're not sure what this does, you can click on the question mark here, and it says if enabled, users who are not members of a group will be unable to make submissions. So basically that leaves, if they're not part of a group, they can't submit anything. That's what that option is. And then we click here on Save and Display. Now, we just told the system that this is going to be a group project. Now, when it's time to grade this project and the assignment has come in, and as far as grading, you can review the video on grading the assignments. Now, you can click here under View Add All Submissions, and what you can do is to go and grade here. Let's say I want to go and grade this assignment submitted by the Karen student, but he's part of one of the groups here. Now, once I grade this, notice there will be an option here. Now notice I was looking there for the option to submit the grade for all students at the same time. Now since we reused an existing assignment, that option was not there. So let's very quickly go back to the course here, and we are going to configure an assignment, a new assignment from scratch here. So we're going to go here under add a new activity, choose assignment, and then we are going to call it paper. Call it group paper. We can give a description, can put the due dates and so on. Remember to reference the previous video there on that. And then we go back here under group submission settings, and this is where we can tell that the students need to submit in groups. And then require group to make a submission. We say yes. Well, we don't want to say yes. If they're not a member of a group, then they can't submit. And then grouping for student groups. So it's going to use, basically if we leave this to none, this is going to use the default groups in the course. Then we go here under, of course, the grade. We can leave that and you choose a category and all that type of stuff. But then under common modules, this is where you say that it's going to be separate groups. So again, there were two settings that we had to customize here for the group mode. Under group submission mode, we choose the yes here for all the groups. And then under the common module settings, I wish they would have called this something else, then we change the group mode from here to separate groups. Then we click on save and display. And at this point, the students will submit the work on the assignment and they'll submit it in separate groups. Now, to grade it, you'll go under the view grade all submissions, and you can review the grading, how you do grading at another point in another video that I have done. And then you go here under the grade. Notice it tells us the different groups that the student is part of. And now when I grade this paper, and I can put comments and feedback and so on, you can apply the grades to the entire group. So this is key, and this is very helpful for you to even post the grades for your course or for this specific assignment. The students submit it once for that whole group, you grade it once, it applies the grade to all the students, and then it will notify all the students in the course, or in the group in that case. Then you click on save and show next, and you'll be grading the next paper. So that was basically using groups in a regular assignment. You can also use groups in forums. So what you can do here is, if we go here under the test course, I'm going to leave this page without submitting those grades, and then you can go here under the existing forum and you can customize it and tell it it's going to be in separate groups, or you can create a new forum and specify that it's going to be utilized in groups. So to use an existing forum, we can simply open it up and then change the settings for that forum. So we click here on edit settings and then scroll down here under common module settings and choose group mode. It's going to be separate groups, and then click on save and display. And then here, notice now it has changed to group A and group B. So what you can do is, when you post something for your students, you can now post it to all the students, to all the groups. So this would be a new discussion topic. And notice the option here is to post to all groups in the bottom. Or you can post separate types of questions to separate groups, and then they will work on their own with their groups. Now notice this is a new option here. So if you're posting to all the students, all participants in the course, you need to also make sure you check this option, and this is new, to post a copy to all the groups in the course. Because by default, and this was a problem in previous releases, it was that if you had separate groups, you had to post separately to each group. Now in this release, you can just simply check this item right here and then click on post to the forum, and then each group will have the same post but yet work independently. So that's somehow or somewhat how this works, and hopefully it makes sense. It's easy for you to implement and utilize in your courses, to utilize groups, because it's a good tool to utilize in your courses, as you know. you.